Yeah. But to get back to this, do not fear. It means to not be alarmed by the people who persecute you. Don't be in awe of them or revere them. Don't be afraid or fearing them exceedingly in reverence. Meaning, if they say something at you and they're persecuting you, they're like, you shouldn't believe that way. That's not how things are supposed to be. Don't go, oh no, I'm doing something wrong, right? Don't be afraid of their words. Don't be shocked by them. Guess what? Jesus is radical. I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
Yes.
And there's some denominations that will say he wasn't God, even though there's so many scriptures where he's claiming to be God. And that was such a radical stance. Especially, it would be so much blasphemy in that culture back then. And to say that you are God is something to be so radical that the Pharisees, the teachers of the Bible, they're going to be mad. Right? You're going to cause someone to persecute you in that stance. And Jesus is saying this is the message that he's given you. And it's not going to be liked. Right? So to be alarmed is what we're talking about. To be frightened. It's a personification in the Greek, phobos. And Deimos is his brother in the Greek. So they're not used in mythology too much, but when they are, they go out in battle before their father Ares, the god of war. Phobos holds lightning, which is really flashy and startling, isn't it? And Deimos with thunder to frighten. He causes panic, he causes dread, that roar of that was loud. But that's it, right? It causes dread. And so that Greek root word is coming from that personification of Phobos there. And its fear is just flashy, and its brother boisterous panic in Greek. Right? It is something that the Greeks would fear if you saw. Well, don't fear it. Because guess what? Panic and dread right there. That's fear and dread. They are worms, worthless worms. You guys remember Hercules, the cartoon? Those are those two deities. I like the personification of them in that cartoon. But they're worms. They're worthless compared. Right? God uses fear. In Habakkuk, I can't say that word right. 3:5, Habakkuk, it says that God uses death, the personification of death, what the other people call gods. He uses death, he uses plague to his will. Every deity that you see these other people worshiping, they're so lowly, they're worms. They're being used by God because God is so powerful. He is so fearful. So why fear something under him whenever he's got your back? Amen? So they are worms, worthless worms. Fear is derived by the unknown. You know, that flash of lightning, is that close by? You know, that thunder, whoa. Is it going to kill me? Whatever that was. You don't know. It's uncertain. That uncertainty causes fear in you. We're all born with a fear of falling, right? To fall down. A baby going down without a dad or a mom playing with them. That's pretty scary. I mean, it scares us just seeing a baby falling, your kid falling. But yesterday I was holding Fletcher, my son, and we were doing that. He was going like this, and I just let him go. He'd go, "That's awesome! You caught me!" You know, he has so much faith in me as a child that I'd catch him, even though that little fear popped up. He was like, "Oh no, I'm falling!" But it's funny because you got me, Dad. That's how God is. He's got you. You know? That fear, don't fear it. It's something to laugh at because God's got your back. But fear is derived from the unknown. The kingdom of heaven, as Jesus spoke earlier, is going to reveal all things. everything will be known. The kingdom of heaven is God's will, that you reside in the kingdom of heaven, so you will go and reside in all things known. Therefore, do not fear nothing.
Amen.
Besides your Lord,
Yeah.
Kyrios, your God, your Lord, He frames everything. We'll get to that. Because another thing to note is fear frames reality. Right? If you thought of a picture, and the picture was your life, and every decision you made in that painting, it doesn't go off the end where fear is, because fear frames it, right? Everything you fear in your life, you're not going to go off the edge.
Right.
Why? Because that causes you to come back like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I fear that. And that's your reality. Your reality is between that frame set of mind. It sets our decisions in life. So, only fear God.
Amen.
Amen? Do not fear things around you that can kill you. Fear the thing that made you.
Yeah.
Because you are fearfully and wonderfully made, as written in Psalms 139:14. Fearfully made by a fearful Creator. Wonderfully, because we're at all the genetic makeup in our DNA, it's a book. It's designed specifically. And a scientist can look at that and be like, something created this, But they like to go around that subject. But in order to have a book, you have to have an author, don't you?
Amen.
You were written in a genetic code. Something wrote you. Okay?
Amen.
And that person that's above all things and knows all things is someone to fear and reverence. And when we talk about fear of the Lord in the Old Testament, it's more reverence, right? To be alarmed, to reverence the Lord is to understand that He controls every situation and outcome. He knows every situation and outcome. He gives you your free will because He loves you, right? That's why there's sin in the world, because you have free will. You can decide on your own what you want to do. But there's a fear frame, and it should be framed with God. If there's anything to take away from that, fear frame, right? That's your life derives on what you don't do and what you do. What you do. That sounds right. My illy spoken English. My illy spoken English. But it's good. It's good to know that God, because guess what? On the end of that frame is a border. And we talked about borders last week, didn't we? With the sheep having their field that God created for them, that pasture with beautiful green grass, and outside of it's the wild, the chaos. We want to be inside the field because we're only sheep. And we know that our shepherd's going to protect us. And it's good to know that fear frame, like, there's fear right there, but it's bordered by love. When you think about it, who created those borders really loves that thing that they're trying to keep in. Wow, that's profound.